There are some things that exes need to learn from Iyabo Ojo's ex-husband, Mr. Ademidun Ojo. And those things are very important. Hello, everyone. You're so much welcome. Yes, it's been some weeks after the best wedding of the decade, Prissy and Juma's wedding that took place. It just brought a lot of birds, a lot of happiness, a lot of lessons. A lot of lessons. In fact, yes, we've been praising Iyabo. Iyabo is good. Iyabo has always been very mature. Even before she's in her 40s, but she handled Larry Latile. Sometimes when we read books at that time, you kiss a lot of frogs before you meet your prince. That is what has happened to Iyabo. Because if you watch one of our podcasts that she drop, Polo, they're in America where she's showing a movie and they were out like on a date or something and they were walking happily. Polo opened the door for her. She entered. It is well. Hello, me to were married for how many years ago? Bóyá mà tó wà tọkọ ẹ̀ ń kọ́ọ̀tì gan ni ọkọ ṣí mọ́tò fún àbí show any romantic gestures. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fìyẹn lẹ́sẹ̀gbẹ́ kan. Now to Mr. Ademidun, Iyabo never dragged him online. Yes, Iyabo has done a story to tell us pé alẹ́ ọjọ́ tó marry lọ́kọ òun sọ pé he's not in love with her, that he married her because of pregnancy. You can imagine how heartbreaking that might be. She tried very hard to make her marriage work because she doesn't want her children to have broken home like that of her parents. And but she had Festus, then her daughter Prissy, our own dearly Prissy. And after that, she couldn't hold her marriage together. And she was been in custody of the children. And it's actually recently that a lot of people now realize that Iyabo has been bearing her ex-husband's name, Ojo. Her name, I think, was Iyabo Ogunro, but since she got married until now, except she wants to change it tomorrow, it's been Iyabo Ojo. She has brought pride to the name. She has brought goodness to the name. She has done well, despite the but she's not perfect. Who is perfect? But she has done good for that name. And one thing people realize is, how can you have left a man for over 20 years and you're still bearing his name? How come the man knows that his wife his ex-wife, who is in the public eye, has still been using his name and never came out to drag her or grant any interview? I intentionally waited for weeks after this Priscilla's wedding to see, and this man did not disappoint me. A lot of people will pay millions. A lot of people will have tried to get in touch with him or through his family members or friends for him to yield to an interview. But he doesn't owe us any explanation, does he? Explanation kokon. The man came, looked very good, looked very composed, though there wasn't any kind of cho between him and Iyabo, which is fine. But they were mature about it. Few minutes lọ́wọ́ fi jókòó yẹn, olúkálùkù búra wọn jẹ́. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan tó máa ṣe, wọ́n dẹ̀ lọ. And look at how he was dancing with Festus. That's their first son. Look at the camera. So even if you're an ex, Iyabo has always said it that she made sure he's in his children's lives. Though it's not an easy thing to do for women, but if you're hearing news like this, Iyabo, and you're allow them access to the children. Except you see, don't call but without that, try. And Baba Tometo, not the one that will just be calling and doesn't care about the children's feeding and whatever. Like I said, the template Iyabo has is uniquely ours and to a lot of women to use, but it doesn't apply to every divorced husband and wife. And I stand to be corrected. Yes, but people, we keep learning every day. We keep reflecting on, okay, it should make sense. Is this something I can apply? Is there a nugget I need to put into my own life and all of that? So, but for Iyabo and this man, I think they are the most mature exes ever. It happens, though. I'm not saying, of course, in our daily lives, the people that we know, we see they've separated 30, 20 something years ago, and their children get married, they still, sit down as awkward. Oh, but the much we can see in public, that's why we have to talk about it. So my respect for this man has risen a lot. Has risen a lot. But because he has a relationship with his children, he wants to see that they are happy. And that should be the core of any parent doing co-parenting. The happiness of the child. The provision for the children. Even though do the bit you can do with, and you must be consistent with the bit you're doing, not the one that you send feeding money in January, di October, or kò san school fees kan, kò má bother boy san. No, so it's just, let me just commend Mr. Demidun. I don't know, whatever happens between you and Iyabo is you guys' business. It's in the past now, your children are grown, but you're giving them something to be proud of. A safe face our money, because if the children wanted him to be there and Iyabo doesn't want it, if Iyabo wants it and the children doesn't want it, so you can see the dedication of all the parties involved, and this praise should be for all of them. Festus, Priscilla, Iyabo. Yes, Paulo too is a good man as Iyabo's lover, but Paulo just came into the picture a few years ago. So Paulo just got into their life about 3 years ago. Yeah, but it's a beautiful blended family. It's a beautiful blended family. And even Paulo's daughter spoke gleefully about Iyabo Ojo. She's a good woman, because that one just put to bed. So for exes, if my baby mama doesn't allow me to do this, don't forget it. Iyabo has always said that our baby daddy, or our ex-husband, not baby daddy, our ex-husband, because we're legally married, our ex-husband has always been in his children's lives. Even when he traveled, if you check old pictures, you see when Prissy and Festus went to meet their daddy. I think maybe he's based in Canada or where, and they were like, after 8 years we are seeing each other. So they were together. They might not be seen for like those 8 years, but it was in touch with them, which is very important. So if people, ex-lovers, ex-husbands, spouses can learn from this, that whatever should be done, if 2 heads, the Bible even says 2 heads are better than one. 2 good heads, so Iyabo àti ex 2 good heads. Yes, it did not work. The marriage did not work between them, but you will see pé ọlọ́pọlọ gidi ni Mr. Demidun, ọlọ́pọlọ gidi ni Iyabo. So despite all the mess that has happened or whatever life has thrown at them, the ọpọlọ gidi still manifested, and that is what we are praising today. So maybe you are the Jakpamono woman that is not allowing your responsible ex to be part of their children's life. Please have a thought. If you are the Jakpamono man, they are not allowing your ex-wife to have to be bonding with the children, please have a thought. We keep learning every day. Drop comments, but I give them kudos.